Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the 9th episode of my 1 vs 4 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 4 Emperor AI that are on a team against me, and I'm playing as the Shadow Elf Sorcerer, Malus Nightlord. In our last episode, we finally encountered those 4 opponents that I just mentioned, and we encountered them here in the Shadow Realm, so Malus himself actually got eyes on the stack, and that was a stack that belonged to our Goblin Archdruid opponent here, Tana Boslarf. But as all 4 of our opponents are on a team here, once we saw one, or I should say once we encountered one, we actually have encountered all 4. So just to kind of remind everybody what we're up against here. So I have a Draconian Theocrat opponent, Goblin Archdruid, a High Elf Warlord, and a Human Dreadnought. So that is going to be what we're up against, and we've now made contact, which means that conflict is probably going to be happening very quickly on our borders. I would be surprised if they don't start mounting attacks on me, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So before I dive into this episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some extremely helpful comments on the last episode. The first of those is from Casper Eklund, who left an excellent comment, as he always does. Casper mentioned that in our on the surface here, we have a Draconian city that's just migrated. And let's just find it here. Actually, it's up top here. So we just had this Draconian city, which used to be a Dwarven city, the city of Dumpkin. And once this city grows, Casper pointed out that we're going to have access to this lost library. And that's going to give us access to a Magic Academy. If we decide to produce the Magic Academy, that would mean that produced support units receive +1 melee damage, +1 range damage, +1 resistance, and basically just makes them all around kind of stronger. And that would be excellent because if we have a Draconian city here, we've already talked about in previous episodes the utility of Draconian apprentice units. They're extremely powerful because of that firebomb attack, which is the same attack that Draconian Flamers get, and they also get kind of fire bolts just like a Draconian Elder. So again, that would make excellent, this city would be excellent eventually for producing Draconian apprentice units. So great suggestion there from Casper, although he rightly pointed out that this city is probably going to come under attack as it's kind of on my front lines here. So we'll have to see kind of how that goes. Another thing that Casper mentioned, this is in regards to some of the units I've been able to acquire with my Necromancer hero and with Ghoul Curse, is that obviously Ghoul cursing units when you're not playing as a Necromancer main hero is a bit of a challenge in that healing them starts becoming an issue, as really the only units who can kind of by default heal undead are the Necromancer heroes themselves, and then Goblin Reanimators, or alternatively Archon units like the Archon Caster. Now the only problem is, obviously I don't have very many of them. And right now I actually only have my Necromancer and this Reanimator. Now one workaround is using units that have Nourishing Meal. So for example, the Halfling Brewbrother can actually kind of bypass this because Nourishing Meal can actually impact undead units as well. They just don't get the benefit of the morale upgrade. Or the morale bonus conferred by this. So those are the units that I have that can heal, and then obviously heroes that I give items to might be able to do that. But I do have to kind of juggle that around, and Casper basically pointed out that if I have units that are undead and I don't really have anything else to do with them, or I don't have a stack to give them or to put them in such that they can heal, another option might be to actually put them into cities as guards, and that way they're fulfilling a purpose, but I don't have to worry about them kind of healing so much. And I think that's a great suggestion from Casper. Another suggestion from Casper is I had kind of asked about whether or not I should keep this cadaver. I think I posed that as a question last episode. And Casper's actually suggesting that I do keep the cadaver. It's already a Champion 3 and it has Resurgence. And obviously that means that it's a wonderful unit to kind of send out. I think I talk about them being sort of a bone shield instead of a meat shield, where I throw this unit out as basically a sacrifice, let them get obliterated, but in doing so they use up enemy attacks and leave enemy open for counterattacks and flanks and whatnot. So Casper suggests that I keep the cadaver. So again, big thank you to Casper for those suggestions. They're very helpful as always. And the other person who left a set of comments is John Calabro. And John pointed out that in the city of Yathlon, and I think I had kind of asked this as a question last time too, I was kind of hemming and hawing over what to produce. John is suggesting that I build a Master's Guild, and I actually do have enough gold for that, so why don't we do that? And the reason John is suggesting this is because it's going to boost my production income and get it up above 100 so that a lot of these other things, like let's say I wanted to build a wooden wall, I could do that in one turn, which would be fantastic. But in addition, and then obviously to the Great Temple would only be 2 turns instead of 3. But the other reason is that if I want to eventually start producing units out of this city, having all the extra production I can get my hands on is obviously going to be beneficial for me. So great suggestion there from John. And then he also mentioned that it's actually going to push this city even closer to being able to have a palace, which currently I think I only have one in my throne city. There it is, the Grand Palace. So that's, again, obviously very useful for me because I want more casting points. So great suggestion there from John. The other thing that John actually suggested, and this is kind of in contrast to what Casper suggested, would be to actually hang on to to replace the cadaver, at least replacing him in the main stack with my hero here. And that's just because I'm going to be ghoul cursing other units that are eventually going to kind of outpace the cadaver. So John had suggested basically keep him around for another battle or two, and then when I get stronger units, kind of replace him. So, I'm going to have to kind of see how things go. I've had sort of a suggestion to abandon the cadaver and a suggestion to keep him, so I'm going to have to kind of see how things go. But in any case, thank you to both guys for those excellent comments. I really do appreciate them. So let's get into this episode. And there were a few things that I had left to do before we had ended last time. So I think we got to do some production. So we already picked our Masters Guild, which means we're going to basically be almost no gold income right now. Or no gold available, I should say. We have a decent amount of income, just not any currently available. So we're just going to do some merchandise for now. As much as it does kind of pain me to not be building things in all these new cities that I've acquired, I don't want to break the bank at this point. So we'll just do merchandise even on our throne. Okay, so we've done our production, and now we have to decide what to do with Malus, and Malus can still move here. He had movement left. So I was originally planning to go up to the surface here, and that was because this Frostling city that I was doing a quest for had been, you can see there it's on fire, which means it's probably been taken over by, I'm assuming, one of my 4 opponents here. And that is one thing I could do. Now the other option is that I stay in the Shadow Realm and I push north here into the unknown, which is where Tana Boslarf's units were, where I saw them, which was kind of right here. So I could kind of try to hunt them down. The other option is I go for this item rack and looks like a wizard tower here that I could try and clear out, and I continue to just get stronger. So maybe what I'll do here is I do have this Storm Sister. I'm going to kind of send the Storm Sister up and see what I can find. Okay, and there we go. There's Boslarf's units. So we're going to actually push up, and we can actually engage them. So I'm glad I went this way. And here we go. Here's a city. So this city appears to belong to our Goblin Archdruid opponent. So this is fantastic. We can actually start taking out these units in battle here. So let's engage this battle. We got a really good chance of winning here, as we've got kind of the overwhelming force majority here. So we just have to watch out. Of course, there's going to be, a few spells being cast. I'm not surprised. So biggest threat is obviously the big beetle. Although we have to watch out for the fire damage coming from the Nightmare and the Wyvern there, because obviously our Shadow Elf units are not going to be feeling so good when they get hit by any fire attacks. So I think what we'll do is we'll throw Static Shield on this Node Serpent, and we will basically move right in, and we're actually going to attack. Ooh, although we are going to take quite a bit of damage. Okay, maybe we'll do this. We'll send our Phantasm Warrior in, and that will kind of occupy the Nightmare, hopefully. And then with this unit, we can attack and see if they end up getting stunned here. Let's see. Okay, and it happened. Excellent. So now they're open for some big damage here. Ooh, you can see that. Just fantastic. So we can absolutely annihilate them there with some ranged attacks. We can come in with our exterminators here and get the kill. Perfect. And then we can also send in our Node Serpent to deal with this Fire Wyvern. And I think we will do that. So we will actually engage the Fire Wyvern there. Take a hit. Okay, they used a Dispel on me for some reason. Ooh, and our Node Serpent took some big damage there. Actually almost died. Good thing we have the ability to heal him. So we're going to do that with Men Magical Being. And then we can... We'll send our Node Serpent in to flank this Nightmare. Get the kill there, no problem. And then we can... Let's just see. I think we get experience when we summon these little lightning sprites. Yeah, we do. So good way to get a little extra experience. And then we can charge in and get the kill with our cavalry. Get a little bit of lifesteal as well. Perfect. Alright, so there we took out one of Tana's units. And I think we're just going to regroup here. So we're going to have to now push in and see how well guarded her city is. We did take a bit of damage there. Our Node Serpents are a little bit worse for wear. Thankfully, Malus can heal them, as is our Phantasm Warrior. But all in all, it's very nice to be able to take out those units. Oh, and we have our Theocrat hero as well, who Virix, who can move. And we were able to acquire this Outrider, which is great because we can try and level this Outrider up and turn him into a knight, which would be very useful for us. So I think we want to head over and maybe clear out these undead eventually. That would be ideal. Virix is not quite at level 12. Once Virix is at level 12, we can then get Divine Justicars, which is going to be very useful for us. So I think we will just continue to push upwards this way. And we will grab this battle real quick. I'm going to actually try and grab that Draconian Raptor, I think, using Convert. Okay, so let's get some experience here. Throw a Touch of Faith on there. Want our Outrider to gain some experience as well. And it would be nice to get this Griffin Rider up to a gold medal. At gold medal, it gains Tireless, which is very nice. So that would be good to get. So we'll just kind of... There we go. Okay, I wasn't fully expecting them to move up, so this is great because it gives me another chance to throw another buff on my units and gain a little bit more experience. So here you can see that Virix is basically about to level up, which is fantastic. So we're going to move in and use the rocks here as a bit of cover, I think. There we go. Now I'm assuming they're going to move in and attack my Node Serpent, probably. Nope. Okay, they're going after my other units. I guess that makes sense because this unit now has a very high amount of... Excuse me, it has a very high resistance because of Touch by Faith, so I shouldn't be surprised there. Alright, so our Outrider can actually do quite a bit of damage here, especially if we use them correctly. So why don't we... You know what? We could move over this way, turn these hatchlings, and then move in and get the kill with our Outrider there. Excellent. Getting a little bit more experience with them. And then we're going to send our hero in behind and try for a convert. And we got it, which is excellent. And then we can send our Griffin Rider in and get some more experience with our Griffin Rider and get the kill there. Perfect. Okay, so now we have a Draconian Raptor. Nice tier 2 cavalry unit. And we'll probably send the Draconian Raptor back, at least initially, to guard the city. Although we don't want to leave a tier 2 unit guarding the city for any longer than we kind of have to. As it's nice to have them out contributing in battles. Unless, of course, the city's under siege or something. And here we go. Okay, so we did get our level up. And now we can actually afford Divine Justicars, which is going to give Resurgence to all the units in the stack. Which is just fantastic. So there we go. Divine Justicars. Now, for example, our Node Serpent here has Resurgence, which is just amazing. Basically, that means if any of my units die, as long as I win the battle, and provided, of course, that Virix doesn't die, we should be in that unit will come right back and we won't have to worry. So that's absolutely fantastic. We're going to use our Node Serpent here and engage this battle. We'll do No Mercy to get a little bit more evil points. And also, I want to try and convert one of these apprentice units. So I can be a little bit more aggressive now since my units have Resurgence. I don't have to worry quite as much about, you know, taking unnecessary damage or anything like that. So I can be, as I said, far more aggressive. Doesn't mean I can just charge in without any real plan, but I can be, like I said, a little more offensive this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll send our Griffin Rider in, do a nice big attack from the back there. We'll send our Outrider in and kill off the Apprentice and get the level up, which is great. And now we're going to try and convert. Of course, we have to watch out. We don't want Virix getting killed. We're going to try convert. Only a 33% chance, and it failed, so unsurprising, I suppose. We'll move in like this and attack there, get the stun. And we'll move our Night Guard in as well. That should be good. Now, I'm assuming that this baby Shock Serpent's going to flank. Yep, there we go. All right, a couple of flank hits. Nothing to worry about, really. A little bit of damage there to our Outrider, and I'm going to actually drop a heal there to make up for that. And then I'm going to turn the Shock Serpent around and then do some flanking hits there. And then I'm actually going to move in behind here, get the kill that way, and then move in behind here and get the kill like that. There we go. Okay, so that cleared that out, and unfortunately we weren't able to acquire an Apprentice, but we did get, some nice knowledge there. Always good to get. We're now down to only 3 turns for our Eldritch Horror, which is great. So we'll have those relatively quickly here, which is a good thing. We're going to need them, as we're now going to be engaged in combat with all of our... and a Bone Dragon has just appeared. So yeah, we need to get over there and clear that thing out quickly here. I imagine they may even come and attack us next turn, or as the turn's flipping over here, which we're actually done our turn. So let's actually see if that happens. Before that, though, I just want to double check that everybody else has already moved. Right, in last episode I had acquired this Sorcerer hero, and I'm kind of juggling my stacks to kind of build her an army. And we also have some units here for our Rogue hero, so this is now a functional stack. Very nice. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We're going to end our turn. And you know what? Let's actually go back to our view in the Shadow Realm here and see if anything happens up here from our Goblin Archdruid opponent. I get the feeling right now that nobody has gotten Paragon yet, so nobody else has tier 4 units as far as I'm aware. At least nobody has the ability to produce or summon them just yet. So hopefully I'm still kind of at a point where I have either an advantage or I'm right on par with them in terms of military forces. Of course, as they have 5 units, they're going to be a lot, or excuse me, as they have 4, there's 4 of them. Of the 5 players, 4 of them are on a team. It's going to be a lot harder for me to compete with them in that regard. But if I pick them off one by one, I think I can probably manage it. As long as they don't all start attacking me at once, which would be pretty devastating, I think. Just don't tell them that. I'm not really seeing any encroachment in my area from any of the AI, which is good so far. Of course, I should wait maybe until they're all done their turns, but I haven't really noticed any enemy unit movement or anything like that. So we'll head back up to the surface. So, okay, my guess is that... let's look at our opponents again. So we have a Draconian Theocrat. There's about a 50-50 chance that that Draconian spawned on the surface or in the Shadow Realm. So it's entirely possible that this Draconian's throne city is in the Shadow Realm, but we don't know for sure. The Goblin here is most likely underground. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So that's my instinct there. And then our high elf opponent is probably on the surface, and then I can't remember what our other opponent was, so we'll have to finish this battle, and then we'll continue that thought. So we've got a Bone Dragon and a Carrion Bird here. It's a shame the Necromancer isn't doing this battle, because we could grab that Bone Dragon. However, let's get after it here. So, again, our units have Resurgence, so I'm really not super scared of anything that this army here has to throw at me. I think we will do a Bestow Iron Heart on the Node Serpent and just charge right in like this. We can bring our Monster Hunter up, who now has a gold medal, which means that he gets throw net, which is kind of useful. Any ability that allows you to immobilize or render a unit basically harmless is usually a good thing. Alright, so I'm assuming they're just going to kind of charge in here, and of course we're going to probably get a blast of gas breath here when that Bone Dragon decides to charge in on us. So we're going to make sure that we keep our hero back, because obviously that's quite dangerous for us. It would be nice to kill off a few of these Lost Souls if possible here, just to thin the herd a little bit. There's that. And then can we throw a spear and do some damage? Yeah, we can. What if we move in a bit? Yeah, that'll get the kill. There we go. And then if we charge in like this, there's that kill. Perfect. Then we're going to throw our Node Serpent in defense mode right there. And we'll move our Night Guard up as well. And like I said, I don't want Virix getting too far in there, so we're going to leave her back. Just because this Bone Dragon's a little scary. Alright, there we go. Nothing too crazy. We tanked that damage reasonably well. And now we can move right in and do some nice spirit damage there. Big flank attack. Perfect. So the Carrion Bird is dead, so we don't have to worry about that. So we could flank like this, fly in behind and flank like that. Fantastic. And then we could charge in and hope... Actually, I think we'll get the kill here with our Outrider, which would be fantastic for experience. And they leveled up as well from that. Excellent. So we're on our way to getting a Knight out of them, which would be fantastic. The only negative is that they lose that ability to have that throw Javelin, but they become a pretty powerful tier 3 unit, so I'm not going to complain about that at all. I do really want them to evolve into that. So we'll send this unit up that way. Ripia has offered a tribute, either some gold or a small army. At this point, I would rather have the small army, so I will take that. And oh, here we go. So they gave me a Shadow Elf infused, apparently. Oh, and there's some Shadow Demons here who are not too pleased about my unit that's traveling this way. So maybe I will... I was originally sending this unit up to reinforce Malus's stack here, but I think I may actually send them back this way because I don't want them getting killed by these Shadow Demons. And then we'll send this unit up to join. They may still get attacked by the Shadow Demons, but at least there's 2 of them and they're in the domain of the city here, which may provide them some assistance if a unit is close enough to them, which probably won't happen, but hopefully enough of a deterrent there. Alright, so let's see what else happens. So nothing else too crazy. We did have our first Draconian Apprentice here, which is great. So we can send this guy this way. And this unit has a higher chance to get criticals thanks to Scales of Fortune, so that's excellent. And we've got this unit as well, this Ghoul Goblin Apprentice here. So we'll send both of them up through the Shadow Realm. There we go. So maybe they can join in with this stack. Of course, we have to remember that this unit is undead, so that complicates things slightly. So the Node Serpent can jump in with our hero. It would be ideal eventually to have this hero clear out this inn and then also this crystal tree. That would be ideal. So I do want probably both of these units jumping in this way. And the good thing here is that this apprentice can actually heal the Node Serpent thanks to men magical being. Unfortunately, this unit just can't heal itself or be healed by anything that doesn't have nourishing meal or heal undead. So maybe we can get this hero eventually a healing item or something. That would be fantastic. Now, as for this unit, you know what? I think we will send this unit over to join as well once they have enough movement to get over these mountains. In the meantime, this stack is going to just chill because most of these units don't have enough movement. So we have this builder, and I have to decide what was I going to do with him. And I think my plan was to jump through this shadow gate and head down here and create a fort right here to grab this extra casting point. So we'll continue to do that. And Telvenda here, this is our throne, so we have to now decide what do we want to build in Telvenda. I mean, we'll probably finish moving everybody just to make sure that we know what our financial situation looks like, but in terms of what to produce, you know, we could just start producing units at this point. Alternatively, we could get an arcane item forge going for that extra research, and also then we can produce more healing items here. I think we also have the city over here producing items. Yeah, there we go. So we have Nourishing Breakfast coming out. I think my plan was to send this to my rogue hero, but it would be nice to have another healing item for our sorcerer heroes as well. So maybe we do that. I'm going to think about that, though. In the meantime, let's focus on our units here. So we were able to successfully kill off that Bone Dragon and friends. So now let's go get rid of this spawner, because we don't really need this thing causing us problems. Again, it might be nice to do this with a Necromancer, but I'm just going to clear it out because I don't really want to risk it continuing to spawn units in and around my cities here, so we're just going to take it out. Fortunately, my Theocrat stack is now, again, very powerful thanks to that resurgence offered by Divine Justicars, so really don't have to worry too much about anything in this battle. I can get kind of aggressive. I think we will basically just throw the Node Serpent up front like that. And you know what, we'll even put our Griffin Rider like that. Let's see what kind of odds we have. Okay, so the throw net only has a 35% chance, although it will reduce movement if it fails, but I think we'll just do a bit extra damage that way. You know what, we'll do a little bit of damage there, and we'll call it a turn. So let's see what these units do. So they're coming after my monster hunters there, my monster slayers. And we can kill off the wyvern, no problem. There we go. So our Node Serpent really didn't take very much damage at all. I think we want to maybe get the experience with our Outrider there. So why don't we drop a heal quick? There we go. And then we can charge around here and do a nice big flanking kill and get a level up there, and I believe that's now silver medal. Yes, it is. So we are now one level up away from having a tier 3 knight in this stack as well. So very rapidly this is becoming quite a powerful stack. Okay, so we've got some items here. Mask of Urath. Cause fear. Attempts to panic target enemy unit. Panicked units don't obey orders and attempt to run from enemies or flee the battlefield for 2 turns. Not a bad item. Inflict chilling. Attacks from this unit have a chance to inflict chilling on their targets. Shield units suffer -1 defense and 20% frost weakness for 2 turns. I am tempted for the cause fear, but I also kind of wouldn't mind just some extra income at this point. I think I'm just going to sell these for gold, quite frankly. Not that they weren't useful, but I want to really start working on my cities, so that extra gold is going to help. All right, let's head down to this ruin, and then once we've done that, we can start getting this stack kind of back into the fight, moving them up north, maybe even head over to, we've got that Tigran city over here, start kind of working our way that way. Okay, so our Draconians already moved our Draconian cavalry there. Okay, so we've got this rogue stack now, so we got to figure out what we want to do with them. So we've got our rogue hero, a node serpent, a knight with a silver medal, very powerful. And then we've got an obsidian wyvern who's a summoned unit, storm sister, and a storm bow. Let's just take a look here. So the knight at gold medal will get strong will, which is quite nice, immune to mind control effects and spirit damage. I think we'll head over here and take a peek into the Lost Library. Okay, so we've got a bunch of Reanimators and a Tigran Mystic. So we don't have any healing. That's one thing to keep in mind here. I think we can handle this. It's going to be a challenge, though, because any of these Reanimators that we kill, or if we kill the Mystic, the other Reanimators can use... Ooh, and they cursed my rogue there. But any of the Reanimators can use Raise Corpse on any of the dead units around them, and of course can turn them basically into cadavers, which is quite annoying. So there's some big damage. We can almost get the kill here, not quite, but very close. And we get the finish here on that Mystic. So now I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up becoming a cadaver. I'm kind of tempted to send in my Node Serpent, but if I do that, it's going to get annihilated by blasts from these units. So I think instead we'll send in our Wyvern, who I'm using kind of as an expendable unit at this point. We can also send our Knight in to basically get the kill, and almost more importantly, to occupy that space there where the body is. So maybe now we send in our Node Serpent, and we do a little bit of fighting there. I'm still a little concerned about the Node Serpent taking damage, but... Alright, yeah, he'll be okay. No big concern there. So now it'd be nice to get a little bit more experience potentially with our Rogue. Our Knight, we need to deal with these Reanimators. So let's use our flying unit, our Wyvern here, to turn them around. And then come in, get a nice big devastating charge, get the kill, no problem at all. And you know what? We'll just charge in with our hero and get the finish and a level up. Very nice for our Rogue. Dread Omen as a spell. So we've got... So conjures a dreadful omen in the sky above, striking fear in the hearts of the population. Target enemy city suffers a -100 population growth penalty. Units that belong to the enchanted city's empire suffer a -500 morale penalty within that city's domain. So if I'm trying to siege a city, this could be a really useful spell. And then we get a little bit of knowledge, always good. So let's do our hero upgrade on our Rogue here. So we've got Stronger Than Steel. All units in the hero's army gain armor piercing. That's a pretty solid upgrade. Let's see what else we got. Infiltration Squad. All units in the hero's army gain wall climbing. That can be kind of nice, especially for like a cavalry unit or something like that. I think we'll do Stronger Than Steel, though. That's going to be our upgrade there. And that should be good. Okay. So now maybe we can head up and clear out this Shrine to the Scarlet Destroyer. We also maybe want to clear out this gold mine, but we can actually get here this turn, so let's do it. Now, some of our units won't be able to move in and get the benefit. Bestows visiting units with plus 60% fire protection for 8 turns, and Fire Spit and Explosive Death for their next battle. So really, I mean, not, like, useful, but not, you know, overwhelmingly useful, so I'll just send 2 of my units in to do that. And let's see, we're up against a Tigran Sabertooth Chariot, a Tigran Bond Huntress, so 2 Tier 2 cavalry units, and a Tigran Shredder. So again, we want to make sure we don't lose anybody. We're also going to have this awful Affliction, which is Great Immolation. So we got to watch out for that. It's going to immolate our units every turn. So we just got to play this one smart. Really got to make sure we don't lose our Node Serpent, who's in a little bit rough shape right now. Thankfully, our Knights are pretty tanky, and I think they'll be able to do some work this battle. And the movement ability of our Wyvern there, just the mobility, is going to be very helpful for us, I think. Okay, so I could pretty much charge in and kill off, or virtually kill off the Shredder. Let's do it. Nice, and we got the kill. That's fantastic. So they could charge in and do a real number on our Storm Sisters there. So I'm actually going to retreat them back. Don't really want them getting into the thick of it. And I think what we'll do is we will charge in with our Wyvern and attack the Bond Huntress. There we go. And then, you know what? I think we're going to just kind of hang back here. Maybe move up just a touch. Do a little bit more damage. What kind of work can we do here? So we do a minimum of 5 plus 9. We do a minimum of 14 damage and a maximum of, if we did 7 plus 13, be 20, which isn't enough to get the kill. We could, however, use Sprint, and that would give us 2 attacks, meaning we would almost certainly get the kill, although we would then be kind of exposed to an attack from the Chariot. So I think what we will do instead is just tell our... When I forgot, our Rogue can still attack. Okay, well, maybe we can change the odds in our favor a little bit better here. So if we do... So we do a minimum of 5 there versus a minimum of 4. So we'll use this attack. There we go. And now we can get the kill no problem at all. There we go. Alright, so now let's see what this Chariot does. My guess might go for the hero. Yeah. There we go. Oof. Jeez, that hurt. So this this Chariot can use a Sun Spear and then an attack as well. Which is kind of nasty. So get the big damage there. Our Knight is now gold medal, which means that he has strong will. And our Node Serpent, we're in the process of leveling up. However, I think I just want the experience with our Rogue, so let's just get the kill there. Always nice to get your heroes leveled up. Okay, so obviously our hero's in kind of rough shape, so we're going to have to let the hero recover a little bit before we do anything else. And obviously they're out of movement, so that works out just fine. Alright, so that does it for kind of above ground. I think we're more or less done with our turn there in terms of combat. So now let's head back underground. Okay, now we've got some decisions to make. So, ooh, and look at this. We've got some Shadow Stalkers and some Scoundrels to deal with here. So they're probably coming from a structure up here that's spawning them. So we got to figure out if we got to go deal with them. So here we've got Vraxen. We've got this beautiful Fallen Angel, Bone Collector, Deathbringer, and a Reanimator. So we want to probably clear out this Wizard's Tower, although that might be just a touch above our pay grade at the moment. We'll have to see if we're strong enough to do that. And we've got a Warband camp up here. So alternatively, we could spend some time with this unit clearing out these structures, get a bit stronger, and then come back to the Wizard Tower if we feel that we're not quite up to snuff. So I'm just trying to decide here, who do I want in this battle? I think it would probably be the most beneficial for me to actually have the Brew Brother in there in case people take any damage. Although having the Cadaver means I can throw him up front as kind of a sacrifice, as I do really like to do. So we'll put the Cadaver in there, I guess. Well, first things first, let's actually take a look at how strong this is. Ooh, yikes, okay. So this is pretty strong. We've got ourselves an Eldritch Horror, pretty nasty. Sithonian Guardian, who would be great to get on my team. This is the kind of the end game Greyguard unit that you can summon. You can see here they are dedicated to neutral. Very, very powerful unit. Evil Slayer, Good Slayer, Defender, Pikeman, Armored, has a shield. Defensive Strike is extremely powerful. Rallying Cry, just an overall very powerful unit. So yeah, I'm thinking we're maybe not quite strong enough for this battle just yet. So I'm going to abort that. In the meantime here, let's engage this nasty little stack here. See what kind of work we can put in on this one. Now, we can try and Ghoul Curse the Scoundrels and use them as scouts or something like that if we need. Obviously, we want to make sure our Reanimator doesn't die, as that would be pretty catastrophic, as we really need the healing. So they're going to retreat back here and just do a self-heal. There we go. And our Cadaver is going to waltz right in. Now, we need to obviously deal with these Shadow Stalkers, who are not a whole lot of fun to fight against. We've got our Deathbringers as well. I think what we'll do is we'll use our Bone Collectors up front. We'll keep our other units kind of in reserve here, just a touch, like this. And we're going to let them come at us here and hit us with what they've got, and then we'll counterattack. Okay, so there's a Frost Shard attack, nothing to worry about. No big deal. That cripple is unfortunate as it reduces our movement. However, not the end of the world. None of these units are going to be susceptible. The Shadow Stalkers are not, so not worth doing a Petrifying Scream. However, our Bone Collectors, we do want to get them involved in this. You know what? Let's get our Cadaver. Got to think about how I want to do this. So, we can do some damage this way. We can hit them pretty hard with some of our ranged attacks here as well. Probably get the kill or very close to it with a couple units here. So why don't we'll hit him with the Reanimator. Level up there, which is nice. Do a little bit of flanking damage. Quite nice there. And then we'll hit him with Banefire and get the kill there. No problem at all. Alright, and now I think we're going to use our Deathbringer with the Scoundrel here. Go for a Ghoul Curse. We didn't get it. And then we can use our Bone Collector one-on-one with the Shadow Stalker here. Basically just out-health them since we have more health. And then we can send our Fallen Angel up this way to basically deal with these pesky scoundrels, who I'm sure are going to sprint around and do some annoying stuff. Yeah, there comes the sprints. Okay. So, we'll use our Fallen Angel here and just obliterate these scoundrels. There we go. These Draconian scoundrels. Okay, that's the one we haven't tried to Ghoul Curse yet. So, what we'll do is we'll jump in behind them with Shadow Step. 65% chance, and we still did not get it. And I think we can get the kill with our Cadaver. There we go. And you know what? We do want... Let's see, can we get the kill on the Shadow Stalker? Minimum of 6 means we're going to do... If we get all bad rolls, we're going to do 18. So I was originally going to heal my Bone Collector, but I think instead what I'm going to have to do is do some damage here instead. I don't really want this Shadow Stalker being alive. Although that being said, you know what? Let's gamble it. Let's gamble it. Nice. We got good rolls. So we ended up coming out on top there. Got a little bit more health back with our Bone Collector and got some more experience for Varaxin. Although Varaxin did take some damage, which isn't ideal. Okay, so I think, like I said, I think we're just a touch too weak for this Wizard Tower. But if we level up a little bit by maybe clearing out a few of these structures, I think we'll be just fine in terms of our ability to handle this and then come back and try and Ghoul Curse some of those units. So, let's see what we got here. So it would be great, actually it would be great to get a Priest here. That would be kind of cool. The Priests have Throw Curse, which goes really well with trying to Ghoul Curse units, as that decreases their spirit resistance. Or excuse me, it just decreases their resistance in general, which makes them more susceptible to that. So those would be great to try and grab. We can grab just some extra Draconian units and kind of send them in as cannon fodder or something if we need to. Alright, so yeah, let's move up. You know, this is where actually having the Brew Brother in there might actually be more useful than having the Cadaver, such that I can actually heal Varaxin, who's the living unit in this stack. However, okay, we'll engage this battle here. This will also give us a little bit better vision around this area, so that'll be good. A little bit of fire damage, nothing we can't handle. Okay, so we're going to send our Fallen Angel in behind. Get the obliterating backstab there. Nice big flank hit. Bone Collector's looking a little worse for wear, so I think we'll throw a heal there. And we can get our Reanimator up and involved with the Temple Guard a little bit. Get some Despair on there. And then I would actually like to eliminate... Yeah, we're not going to be able to get in there this turn. So maybe we will just kind of guard our Reanimators there. Yeah, that's going to be the plan. Alright, there we go. Defense mode. Let's see what they do. Going after the Cadavers. Kind of a poor choice in my opinion, as they are my throwaway unit, really. Throw a heal on our Deathbringers here. So let's jump in behind. Try for the Ghoul Curse. 95% chance, pretty much guaranteed. Yep, there we go. And if we fly in behind here, we also got the Ghoul Curse on those units. So now we've got two more little draconian kind of tier 1 infantry and pikemen units. So we could maybe use them as kind of throwaway units if we need to. Alternatively, we could build a second little undead stack and have at least one healer to go with them, which might not be the worst plan. And let's see, can we get all the way over there? Even if, what if we leave the... Nope, that's not going to do it. So I think we'll just head over here and do this turn. You know what? I will send the Brew Brother up to join this little stack, because why not for now? Alright, so now we've got an item rack here, so we'll send Vraxen in to engage the battle. We're going to see what kind of item maybe we can grab out of this. Hopefully we can get something kind of decent. Okay, everybody's pretty healthy with the exception of the Cadaver, who needs a little bit of help here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, as I said, I do want to try and grab these priests. I would also be just fine grabbing a Black Knight as well. Nice tier 2 cavalry unit. Nothing wrong with that. And let's see, can we... Yeah, I don't want to hit my own unit with that, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off on that one. Okay. Let's see what they do here. Going after my Fallen Angel there with the Banefire attacks. Okay. So we will use our Deathbringer here, jump in behind, get a 65% chance immune, and we can get the kill with our Bone Collector, and we can grab the corpse for that extra health back. There we go. And our... You know what? Let's jump up here and then throw down a... So we were able to petrify these priests, which is nice. Fly up that way. So Vraxen himself, we don't want him getting up in there too far, as he's a little bit worse for wear in terms of damage. So I think we'll just get him to chill out. We'll try for a Despair. Nice, we got it. That's going to make them a little bit easier to Ghoul Curse. And just a reminder, Despair lowers their spirit resistance. And Inflict Ghoul Curse is a spirit check, so... You know what, let's try a little bit more Despair if we can. Yeah, there we go. Now it should be almost 100%. Yeah, 80% chance to... Excuse me, 88% chance now. So that's quite nice. So we'll fly in and do that. There we go, and we got it, no problem at all. I think we will send our Bone Collector in to obliterate the Razor Bows there. Did that just fine. Fortunately now we're too far away to actually go in and go after these priests with a unit that can Ghoul Curse, so maybe we will just move in behind here and do a little bit of damage. There we go. That's actually ideal. They'll probably fight back though and get killed, but let's see what happens here. Yeah, there we go. So we did get one priest out of that, which is a good thing. A Hellhound and a Jug of Eternal Joy. So the Hellhound provides fire protection, blight protection, and frost weakness. You also get Overwhelm out of the deal. And then the Jug of Eternal Joy gives high morale. Unit has plus 200 morale. I'm not a big fan of anything that gives weaknesses, especially where a unit might not otherwise have that. Although that fire protection might be really good for a Shadow Elf, so I think I'll take this. And the Jug of Eternal Joy I'll give to Vraxen. There, now he's a very, very happy boy. He's already got this Fire Wyvern, which is giving him fire protection, so he doesn't need it. Let's think about our other heroes, actually. We'll go back to Vraxen here. And let's think about who else might need it. So we've got ourselves the Bleak Warg for our rogue. So Virix could potentially get one. She's got that 40% fire weakness. Malus has the big beetle, so he doesn't really need a mount. The alternative is Aurelia here. She's got blight weakness and spirit protection. You know what? I think we'll give it to... our... Here, our Theocrat. I think that's going to be the plan. So we'll go back to Varaxen here, grab this, and we'll send it to Virix. And the reason I'm doing that is, again, because 40%, you're basically trading 40% fire weakness for 20% frost weakness, but you also get an extra 20% blight protection out of it. So you kind of come out ahead in the end. So that's what we'll do. Whoops. Let's go back to the Shadow Realm real quick. I don't think I was quite finished here. Yeah, so I still had a little bit to figure out. So we want to incorporate this Orc Priest in to help with Ghoul Cursing. Ideally, I would love to get this Watcher on my team. That would be phenomenal. I do like Watchers. They're quite a nice tier 3 unit. So yeah, we'll basically clear out the rest of these structures and then clear this out as well. Once we've done that, I think then we'll be strong enough to take out the Wizard Tower. We shouldn't have any trouble there. So let's regroup. There we go. Okay. I'm going to be on the lookout for any other units like this Brew Brother that can heal undead. So, in particular, this Brew Brother gets Nourishing Meal. So, I'm going to be watching out if there are any Halfling Brew Brothers that I encounter. I'm going to really try hard to Ghoul Curse them or to convert them, such that I have more units that can heal undead. Okay, now we have Malus to move, so let's move Malus here. Now, I could try and raid this Beacon of Light on my way in, but I think I'm just going to go for the Throat on this city. Yeah, alright, so we'll just charge right in here. And I'm actually not going to engage that battle with my whole stack. I'm just going to save some movement there. So we'll get this done. I'm assuming we're going to get hit with some spells, probably. Oh, and we didn't. Okay, so we will mend Magical Being on this Node Serpent here, who is not in the best of shape. And we're going to use our Node Serpent and our Phantasm Warrior as our kind of upfront battlers. And the reason we're going to do that is because they can be healed with Mend Magical Being, whereas our living units, not so much. Or excuse me, our non-magical origin units, not so much. And I don't really want them getting unnecessarily exposed, I guess I would say, to damage, because it takes them longer to heal. Which is part of the reason why I would like to get some healing items for my heroes. So we'll move in like this. So I'm assuming we're going to get a fight here. Let's see. Tried for a Dispel there. Okay, perfect. You can see their Dragon Slayer coming in handy. Nicely done. Okay, and we've got ourselves a Shadow Elf outpost, which we are going to absorb. Very nice. Okay, and we can actually send this Storm Sister in to maybe help us out just a touch with garrisoning this city. So again, they probably came through this Shadow Gate, and I would guess that this goes underground, but we'll have to see. So let's clear out this. Now the question is, do I want to divert over here eventually and grab this big pile of research, clear out any of these other structures? That's a good question. Let's actually take a look at this Beacon of Light and see how strong it is. Ooh, Blight. All kinds of Blight stuff. So we've got Blight Elemental, and then all this Blight damage from a Goblin Blight Doctor, as well as some other Goblin units and some Orc units. We could probably handle this battle without too much trouble. But I'm glad I just went in for the Throat. I think that was probably safer. Alright, we're going to actually send our Storm Sister in there and just guard for now. I don't want to leave her there forever because she's a Silver Metal Storm Sister. It's kind of a waste just leaving her there. But for now, we will leave her as a city guard. So now the question is, do I want to go and check that out, or do I want to go through this Shadow Gate? Personally, I think I want to go through the Shadow Gate. I want to kind of press... Now that I know where they are, I want to press my advantage a little bit. kind of go for the throat. Ooh, and I had a level up for Malus there, which I should have applied prior to the battle. That's okay, though. We'll just... Alright, so now, obviously, I got to watch out for some of this fire damage. So let's see. We've got our Node Serpent here who could use some health. So we'll do that. And then we could also throw a static shield here on our Node Serpent as well. So let's kind of move in like this. We're going to actually have to be somewhat careful this battle because we've got pretty much nothing but fire damage coming at us, which isn't going to feel too good if that hits us a whole bunch. So, and also our Phantasm Warrior isn't exactly good at dealing with elemental damage as he doesn't have the highest of resistance. Yeah, and of course I packed those units together, which wasn't a good move on my part. Not a awful thing that I did, but it, just not a good plan when I've got units that throw fire bombs, which are these cluster attacks, right? You don't want to group your units up when that's going on. Just as a matter of principle. So we'll do a little bit of damage here with our hero. Nice, we got a stun. Do some work with the Storm Priest there. Oops, and I didn't realize we were going to take an attack of opportunity there. That's okay, though. We can just get the kill, no problem. Alright, no worries. So we got that done. And now we can group up. And again, I think we're just going to head through that Shadow Gate. So that's going to be the plan. So we'll upgrade Malus. So we've got Master Illusionist. All units in their hero's army gain invisibility. This ability only functions when the hero is leading the army. Well, that could be kind of nice if you're trying to sneak up on somebody. I think we've got 12 upgrade points there. Let's give him just a touch more health, I guess, for now. Oh, and I am going to be getting, I think it's Thunderstorm maybe at level 12, if I remember correctly. So I don't want to spend too many of my points. So I'm just going to save them there, I think, for now. And not worry too much about it. Okay, we've already done them. So let's just kind of jump around to our units and make sure we've dealt with everybody appropriately. So far, so good. Yep. Yep, so far everybody has used up their movement. Okay, I think we're good. So, now let's do our production real quick. So we've got Telvenda, our throne city. Boy, we got some choices here. I'm going to go with the Arcane Item Forge. I want that extra knowledge income, and I also want the ability to produce items there to send to my heroes. Asper Sen here, our Draconian city. I think it would probably be beneficial to produce additional apprentice units. However, it would be awesome to not have this take 3 turns. So now the question is, do I want to spend a little bit of time? Do I want to spend some time or some turns on a siege workshop and maybe trying to stimulate growth a little bit more with this city? I mean, it's 3 turns to make the siege workshop, which is kind of annoying. I think we'll do it, though. As the city gets bigger, we want to try and eventually get up to the point where we can produce those Draconian apprentice units in 2 turns. Okay, over here to Chiron. So we've got a few things to think about here. Now, if one of these cities ends up in your domain, I think all that gives you is the ability to produce legionaries. Yeah, nothing really else. They don't really provide any other benefit as far as I can see. Observatories would be nice because, again, that's going to give us extra knowledge income. More mana income is always a good thing, too. And we do need to increase our cap because we're constantly kind of stuck at our mana cap right now, which is only 1,000. So it would be great to actually improve that. We got 52 production income right now, so let's do an observatory. Just get our research going even more. Okay, back up here to our Draconian city. Boy, we really don't have a ton of production as this is just a little itty-bitty outpost. So maybe we do a builder's hall. Ooh, and look at this. We've got some roaming units coming in. They're going to probably take that city from us if we... Yeah, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's unfortunate. I didn't see them until just now. Dang. That's a bit annoying. We're going to have to deal with them, as I'm sure they're going to just waltz in and take our city from us. Maybe even kill our unit first and then take our city. So in that case, let's just do merchandise, as whatever we do is probably going to get canceled anyway. Okay, up here. So we know we want to eventually get to the point where we're going to be producing apprentice units. We've got 25 production currently. So let's think about this a little bit. So in order to get them, we need to build this, but that's going to take 6 turns if we do it now. This Sorcerer's Conflux. And we do want more production, so maybe we do a Builder's Hall here. Just get that production increased. Manthros, and again, this city we're working on getting our pikemen going. So we need a War Hall to be able to produce High Elf Union Guard. But we are kind of low on gold as we've spent a lot of it, so that's going to do it for our turn. So let's end it there. And now just watch. I'm sure this unit, once they get their turn, they're going to come in and snipe that city from us and probably even kill our Draconian Raptor there. And that's the risk I took. I didn't go over here and keep exploring this way and clear out anything I could. I kind of went off this way. So I probably should have done a better job clearing around these cities as I was taking them. Like, I'm sure on this one there's probably going to be bandits coming from this way and roaming units coming from over here too. So before I run off into the... Unless I end up in combat with one of my opponents here, I'm probably going to want to do a better job of clearing this out before I venture off. So I'm curious. I don't think... Yeah, I don't see any of Tana's units here. So looks like she hasn't tried to retaliate for me taking the city just yet. And like I said, I'm betting that when I go through this Shadow Gate, it's going to end up in the underground. Probably near Tana's, I would assume maybe near her throne or something, but I guess we'll have to see. She may have expanded quite a ways from it, and this may go to the surface, who knows. There may be a tunnel that leads underground above on the surface, and there's a Shadow Gate there, but we'll have to see. Okay, so we are under attack from these Shadow Demon Harvesters. They're going after our Infused, which is kind of unfortunate. We may have to actually use a spell here to keep them alive if we want them to have any chance of winning this battle. So Static Sphere would be a really good one, I think, for this battle. Starblades, of course, would be nice. Magic Fist isn't really going to do us a whole lot of good. So I think Static Shield is going to be our best option in this battle. And I think we'll throw it on our stronger unit there. Alright, so let's let them just come at us, basically. This is going to be a little rough. Alternatively, I don't know if we're going to be able to just run away. I mean, we could do that. I've already spent the mana points, but if I can just run and not lose them, that would be ideal as well. So maybe we'll just try that a little bit. If we can have this go for 5 turns without them being able to hit us. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should have done that before I even thought about casting spells, but I think we might be able to... Ooh, I think we're actually going to get boxed into a corner, unfortunately. So how far can they go? Oh, no. No, we're going to be okay if we just do this and this. I think the battle will end and they'll have used up their movement. Yep, there we go. So I ended up kind of wasting some casting points, but hey, I got to keep the units. Didn't have any risk there, so that's fantastic. And we still have enough casting points to summon our Node Serpent, so no worries. Okay, we did have a Domain Invasion in Manthros. Oh boy. Yikes. Okay, a Bone Dragon in the domain of the city, so that's not good. We gotta deal with that pronto. Maybe even go reinforce our city here. Keep them away. So we aren't quite strong enough to go and fight them one-on-one yet, I don't think. We could probably manage it, but we'd lose some units, I would think. Okay, so we have our Nourishing Breakfast that we've now produced, which gives a nourishing meal to the unit holding it. Now the question is, do I want this with my Rogue, or do I want this with my new Sorcerer? Would get here in 1 turn, which would be kind of nice. But I think we're going to give it to our Rogue, actually. So we'll do that, and then we're going to start making another one right away. Let's go back to Forge Item here. And we are going to basically do the same exact thing, I think. The reason I'm doing Nourishing Meal is because that will work on any unit, whether they're undead or not. It's not the most effective healing ability, as heal actually gives 20 rather than this giving only 15. However, this also does give a morale boost, and it actually increases the maximum hit points of the unit as well, which can be kind of nice in battle. So not a bad thing to use. Yeah, so let's do it. Nourishing Meal, we will add it. And this time, instead of breakfast, maybe we can do the picnic basket here. I think that's an item. Actually, let's do the cup of tea. And we'll call it refreshing tea. There we go. And that's going to give us... So it's going to cost us 33 gold, 130 mana, and it's going to take 3 turns. So we'll do that. Forge that tea. Very refreshing. Okay. So now we got to decide, where do we want to summon this Node Serpent? And again, I probably want to try and summon it in this domain of this city if I can, because then it's going to get the benefit of Scales of Fortune. So let me think about this. Now, in terms of where the Node Serpent's going to do the most benefit, the Rogue stack is already decently powerful. We've got pretty solid Node Serpent here, very powerful Human Knight, then a couple miscellaneous other units, got a support unit, got an archer. So we're decently powerful in that stack as it is. And I personally think I'm going to probably go for adding it to this Sorcerer's army. The only thing is maybe I summon it over here so it gets the benefit, and then send it over this way so it can join up. The only thing is, this unit's kind of scaring the heck out of me, so it might be nice to actually add the Node Serpent into the stack just so that I have it there and I'm a little bit less vulnerable. If I were to summon it here and then send it off this way, it could be there in another turn. So you know what, let's do that. Then it gets the benefit. We'll go up this way. In the meantime, we'll send the hero to basically reinforce the city and just chill there. This guy can continue going to where he was going, which is, if I can remember, right here. Right, we want to do that. And we're pretty much, I think, going to wrap it up here. This is about the end of the episode. However, maybe we'll do one more quick battle. Let's check out this Ancient Ruin. We can try and recruit this Troll. Trolls are pretty powerful units. Now, we're going to be mass cursed in this battle, so we have to remember that. However, we also got to watch out for these Dread Spiders who could web us. Okay, so why don't we use Touch by Faith here. There we go. Put our Node Serpent up front. Griffin Rider right there. Outrider, get him in the mix. And we'll just kind of move everybody in. So I'm assuming they're going to just all kind of come at me here. Yep. So there goes the web attempt, and it failed. Thank goodness. And I can basically just give them a nice blop here and get the finish. No problem at all. And then I will send my Night Guard over to deal with the wargs. First strike versus first strike kind of thing. And I want to send my hero over this way. We'll throw an Iron Heart on my Griffin Rider. Put the Griffin Rider like that. And then the Outrider can basically just chill like this. Throw the spear. Even though it's just going to heal itself with regrowth. Okay, going after my Outriders. Let's try for the convert. We got a 55% chance. Pretty decent. We got it. Heck yeah. And there we go. So we got a Troll now. Keep in mind the Troll is dedicated to evil, so it's going to be a little bit lower in morale. Ooh, a nice +2 defense headgear, plus some knowledge. Hell yeah, I'll take that. We don't have a helmet for our hero, so a little extra defense there is always a good thing. So this Troll, if we take a peek, the thing I like about the Troll is it has regrowth, which is fantastic. It also has Guardbreaker and Demolisher, which is really cool. But, and it can attack walls, which is pretty sweet. It is dedicated to evil, though, so we are going to have a little bit lower morale, but nothing horrendous, just a little bit low, as we're not that far outside of being evil or good. But yeah, it's very nice to have that troll who can basically heal himself. And so now with this stack, we're going to want to probably go back this way, I'm thinking. Let me just double check what's in the Shadow Realm there. Suppose we could come and try and clear these out, but I think I'd rather mobilize this stack and get them going this way. So we'll go back this way, and we'll get that troll following them as well. In terms of casting another spell here, next turn we're actually going to have the ability to start summoning our big boys here, our Eldritch Horrors. So I'm going to have to decide what I want to cast. I probably don't want to use... I want to just use up my casting points and then have them come fresh the next turn, I think. But we'll have to think about that. So, as I said, I think we'll call it an episode here. Let's just take a look above ground at what we're kind of looking at. So we've got our 3 cities currently. I guess those roving units never ended up attacking us, which is kind of nice. I was just going to say, I guess we didn't lose that city, so we'll guard it there. Anyway, so we'll zoom out, take a look. Whoops. Let's actually take a real look here. So there's our 3 cities. Doing a pretty good job of exploring, and I almost forgot about this quest up here, actually. Let's take a quick peek at that before we end it. And so we still got 8 more turns to do it. We just have to go up there and clear out the mine. And we'll probably use this stack to do it. And that's only going to take a few turns to get up there, so not a big problem. We can still manage that. We just got to remember that this quest is active. And then let's jump to the Shadow Realm real quick. So there's what it looks like there. And as I said, we're going to save this one here. We're going to call this one Episode 9. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.